Alright guys, we've got a 2012 F-150 XLT, and the rear door, what he gets, what the owner of this vehicle gets is, let me put the key in. Okay, driver's door is ajar. We'll close it. Left rear door ajar. Well, the left rear door is actually closed. Dome lights are still on. So, a common problem with these F-150s so what happens is this conduit right here where the door opens and closes, you can kind of see where even where the rubber's kind of pinched right there. There's a hard plastic strain relief that runs inside here that is supposed to prevent the wires from flexing a whole lot. Well, what happens is the wires right here doesn't really do a lot of flexing. All the flexing is now done right here at this point. So let me get this thing popped out of here. Hold on, give me just a second. Okay, I've just got a screwdriver. I'm going to try to pop this rubber piece out of here. There you go. And look at that. There's one broke wire. There's a black. It's broke right here at the flush, so that might be kind of tricky. See if I can get the rest of this connector out of here. What I want to do is get this connector unplugged so that I can pull it out here and work with it, because you can see that's cut or broke flush with the connector. So I'm going to have to extract the pin, hopefully do some soldering or some I don't know, some way to reconnect it back. Otherwise this whole harness would have to be changed, and I don't want to do that. But to get this out of here, there's got to be an easier way than what I'm seeing. Okay. What that looks like. I see the locking tab. I can't really see how. No. That was easy. Now what I don't know is what it's going to take to get that out and get that fixed. What you hope for is that the wires are broke farther out of this connector so that you can just splice them together. So let me see about getting this thing pulled farther off here. There's another locking tab in here. I want to get this black housing pulled off. Looks like I need a small screwdriver. So let me get that. Okay, I got the black housing off of the main connector, and all it was there's a little piece of plastic right there, if you can see it. Took a small screwdriver and I pushed down right here, and this housing pulls back this way. So now the next thing is to figure out how to get the pin out. The pin I need out is down here in the corner. I really need to get both these out. That looks like the wires, it looks like just the insulation is broke on that. The wiring actually looks okay, but obviously you can see where the So I need to get that out so that I can find out if I'm going to be able to do anything with it. Doing this one-handed is kind of a challenge, guys. And it looks to me like, hold on just a second, let's see if I can. Hopefully you're seeing this. Okay. There's the insert. Okay, now you can have a better view of the pins and how they're secured in there. And the pin that I need is right over there in this bottom corner. So it's going to be this pin right here. And all it is, I'm going to have both hands, but you can see a little tiny plastic retainer. I've got to pull that up, and that pin should push out. It's a very delicate pin, so you're going to need to be careful. Now, another option would be to get on this side, which is this wire right here, and you could literally cut that wire, run a wire through this. Once this is back together, run a wire through it, splice both these wires together. That would be another option. I mean, I hate to cut a factory wire out of a plug, but if you wasn't able to get this pin out and get it reattached to the wire, then that would be another option. So let me, I don't know how this is going to work. Try to hold the camera. I really just let me get my next smaller screwdriver. Okay, I got the pin out. It's a very small and delicate pin. Going to be a challenge to solder onto it, but I think it's going to be doable. And what I did was, you can see the little plastic tab right in there. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in there, and this plastic tab right there where that screwdriver is, I just pushed up on it and pushed that pin back, and it came out the back end here. So that's what that took. So what I'm going to actually do here to make it easier for myself, and I'm going to take this into the shop, and I'm going to solder another piece of wire onto it, maybe about an inch long, maybe even a couple inches, and then I'm going to splice it onto this wire, and then I'm going to push this back into the hole, and that should take care of this problem. This wire here just got insulation broke on it, and I can feel the piece of plastic that I was talking about is right here underneath this black tape, and that's really what's causing this problem. That piece of plastic should be coming all the way up to this connector, so that all the flexing isn't done right here at the connector. It'd probably even be best to have that piece of plastic completely removed. But let's go ahead, and I don't think I'm going to need any of that. I'm going to get set up here so that I can start working on this. I'll kind of show you what my plan is to fix that. Again, hopefully your problem is you've got enough wire to where you can splice it back together. But unfortunately I don't, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've got the pin right here, and we are going to try to get enough material here that I can solder another piece of wire onto it. I need to be able to open this thing up. or at least get this insulation off here. Now this just sends a signal to the BCM, so it's not like it's got to be the heaviest wire around. Now that might actually be all I need right there. Let me get my soldering set up. Alright. Flood that with some solder. I'm going to tin. Got a piece of wire here. I'm going to go ahead and tin this end. That way now hopefully, as long as that will still push into the connector. Let me get a little pair of needle nose. Well, I can't find my little needle nose. As long as that'll still push in and snap into the connector without this restricting it, this should be a good repair. And then I'll splice this end onto the factory wire. So let's see if we can get this pushed back in. Which way does that go? Okay. Let me take a look here. Let me get a little screwdriver to... No, got one ready. Yeah, it's being stubborn. Might have to grind. Actually, I need to make it flatter on the sides. Almost there. Tight fit. Try to make your solder joint smaller than I made mine. I don't know if you can see that or not. But just out of curiosity, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and we're going to see, well, yeah, we're going to see if it works. The way I'm going to do that, front door's closed. Okay, so we're all plugged up. I don't have it all back together yet, but I will here in a minute. Dome light is on. I'm just going to simulate closing the door by taking a screwdriver and latching it. Dome light is now out. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. Hopefully this extra wire, I've got to shrink this down still, but hopefully this extra wire will give it a little bit more flexibility. Now with this automotive wire, you've got to be careful not to melt it with these environmental style splices. You see the yellow wires already starting to soften up, so I'm going to stop right there. That's plenty good. And now it's just about putting her back together. That's going to be a good fix. I'll slide this up, get the connector snapped back into the black housing, snap the rubber boot around the black plastic piece here, and then snap it back in, and this will be a done deal. So that's this is the most common problem with the door ajar lights, especially on the rear doors of the F-150s. if you got your lights that time out after a few minutes, but after all the doors are shut, the lights stay on, and it takes a while for them to time out. That's the battery protected circuitry, where it's automatically shutting the lights off because it believes that a door has been left open. So this is the most common fix for these F-150s. And again, if you wasn't able to do the connector the way I did, you could theoretically cut the same wire on the back side of this connector and run it alongside through this black housing and splice them together that way. That's another option if you choose to do that. But anyway, this is a done deal. Once I get this put back together, I'll show you make sure the door ajar instrumentation is good and everything. So I'll be back right after I get this put back together. And just so you understand what I'm saying, so this black plastic piece is snapped out of here. Well, this rubber boot needs to fit around this flange on the black plastic piece. And I'm going to need 2 hands for this. I'll leave the camera rolling. Just going to work it around. Because you'd never be able to get this put back together if you had the black part snapped in first. Okay, so the rubber boot is now affixed to the black plastic piece. Then it's just going to snap in just like that. Then you clean up your tools. Close the door. Okay, so yeah, battery's probably getting low from having to. Well, I got the key on, no wonder. Okay, hit okay to that. I'm gonna turn the key off. Turn it back on. All doors are shut. The only thing we may have is a TPMS light. Well, we got the battery because it thinks the battery is low. So start the vehicle. We got a low tire pressure. I've got to plug a tire. The right front tire's low. I'm going to hit OK. Now, we have no door ajar. The dome lights, I just opened the driver's door, just closed the driver's door, and the lights go out now. So, that's typically the fix for these F-150s, that connector. Hopefully yours has a little bit of wire to work with. If not, you can do it the way I did it, or like I say, you can cut the wire on the other side of the connector, run it straight through, splice it. That'd be another option. Anyway, we're done with this. You guys take care.